Two Brother Sports Podcast presented by RambleOnSports.com. It is Friday, February 16th. We're coming at you a second time this week. Just here to talk all things Super Bowl 58. We've got one round of the Genesis Invitational under our belt, so we'll talk about our picks and any updates or things that we like seeing going forward on a live basis. Always good live markets there. Little college hoops for you because that is every single day at this point. So we will come correct with that and whatever else we feel like talking about. So we've got the boys back. Nice to see you. It's only been a couple days, so long time no talk. How are we doing on this fine Thursday?
Good, man. Seems like a long week, but we're here, so ready for the weekend. Got some good stuff going on.
Yeah, man. Glad to be back just a few days later here. And I know we have some things we need to tie a bow on football wise and can talk about what else is going on. I'm glad can help spread some of the golf bug here. It's been some fun to watch this afternoon. And fuck yeah, man. Just good to be here.
Hell yeah.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Well, very excited to get in on this Thursday. I'll just kind of go ahead and make a statement real quick on the Super Bowl and anything that's transpired over the last couple days, and then we can get on to the more positive things. The Kansas City parade yesterday with the Super Bowl, not the best of outcomes right now. One has passed away, a ton injured. Very scary scene for a lot of people in Kansas City, especially a lot of those kids. Um, I've not personally been to a championship parade, but I know as a kid and watching teams play, when your favorite team wins, the first thing you think about is being there as a kid. And so when you see the parades, you see all these kids kind of celebrating their heroes, their role models, their favorite team at the time. So very sad thing that's happened. Hopefully, everyone that is still kind of kicking. Hopefully everyone's still in good spirits and hopefully everyone's okay. And just, hats off to the first responders, those who run towards those sounds and shots versus the ones, that might not be as lucky. So appreciate everything that those guys have done, the PD, the fire departments, all that. But yeah, unfortunate scene, unfortunate damper on a very successful season and a great championship and a great city overall. So it's just sucks to see.
Yeah.
Not that we need to
Well,
kind of get into too much on that, but just
well,
to say that.
well said there, Sam. I think the reason we all love sports is it's a nice little getaway from real life and things, and so you absolutely hate seeing that. And even all knew a couple of people that were at the parade there, and I think just one of the things you take away is what was probably an awesome day. You're hanging out, having some few beers, enjoying your team takes such a bad turn, and you hate that. Hopefully, that's not kind of the first thing that comes to mind when you think about that Super Bowl. But just thoughts and prayers with Kansas City, and congrats to the Chiefs. Congrats to the Chiefs, man. What a year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, thoughts and prayers to everyone involved. That's terrible. I hate to see it. Everyone hates to see it. But yeah, incredible run. Hopefully they can, you know, keep some high spirits in this time.
I believe everyone here was on the Chiefs, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
indeed.
and someone here won all their six plays that we discussed.
Yes. Yes. I mean,
Really?
Themselves?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was nice that we did all get that plus money Chiefs. Yours truly did go. Um, we did get a nice little 6-0 slate there. And I'm trying to pull up the picks. There was a couple close ones there.
Yeah,
I mean,
is
the
there
Kelsey one was
anyone that you were the most nervous about?
the one I was most nervous about, probably. I mean, one going into it, I wasn't most nervous about. I actually saved that one for last. But I'll tell you what, first half, I was freaking out on that one. That was Kelsey most receptions. Man had 1 to 2 receptions, and Chiefs did not look good. So luckily, he poured that shit on.
Dealt
But
with
yeah,
he ended up with nine. Yeah, I'm sure like seven of those were in the second half.
yeah. I
How
mean,
about you're good on you, Sam, doing the CMC rushing and receiving there because I think he only, ended up, we got him like his 22 carries, but only only a 3.6 kind of clip for 80 yards total. I imagine that was under, I think the line was 90 there. So
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah, and I got lucky that we went into overtime and that Kansas City was able to get that last touchdown and got me the 21 to 30 range.
The MVS catches overtime as well.
Yep.
I'm sure there's no way to know, but like what the books lost. Now, of course, they won. I'm sure some things, maybe two, going to overtime. Of course, people who had San Francisco and things like that. But I imagine way more was lost just with the props and things. Just people needing some extra yards or extra catches there.
Well, even like the over under, like even the over under
Oh,
not hit and they went into overtime. Like that's just crazy.
yeah.
So a lot of overs. I mean, I don't think we had, I think we all kind of thought it was
No,
low.
in fact, I think we kind of even hinted that we thought it may be more of an under game here compared to like last year's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
definitely
yeah,
stayed away from that. I didn't even touch that under over.
Yeah,
Not even. It's fucking
not even two.
nah.
Nothing. Yep. I'm with you guys.
But,
Yeah, Fred Warner had a big day. I mean, Sean, you also went a nice 5-1. Max won a nice 500. So overall, as a squad, we gave you guys 18 different picks, and we hit 14 of 18. So if you listened, you cannot be mad because you better have placed what we said, and you'd be out some money. But yeah, overall, really good. I mean, the Kelsey touchdown, I could have sworn that was going to happen 3 or 4 different times when they got in those goal lines. They were looking for him.
Yeah.
And then
If they put him in on that Pacheco fumble, I mean, if he wouldn't have gone after Andy Reid, and then he would have probably scored, and they wouldn't have fumbled. So,
yeah.
it's a
then
good
they
save.
went down to overtime. It's just a whole lot of stress. I could have gone to bed earlier. I would have made more money. But
It's just nice when a couple of your theories come true because it doesn't happen a lot. And really, just the only kind of two things that I was like, all right, I feel like Kelsey decoys. So whether that's like the Noah Gray yards, which he had, or even if you played like a Justin Watson, 54 yards from Justin Watson there. And then the fact that just kind of like, all right, Kelsey decoy and Ayuk is probably going to end up just because Ayuk is always going to be in the outside and Debo, they can start from anywhere. Like he's probably going to draw L'Jarius Sneed there. Let's kind of keep it cool. And I remember there's a couple. He only ended up with 3 for 49. I feel like I just remember all three very well and just being like, oh no, like oh no, oh no, and
Just keyed in.
now he ended up, very much cleared the under. Well, not very much in terms of catches. Well, no, I mean he only had 3 and 4.5 there, and yards wise he only had 49, and so yeah. I think did the game kind of go as you guys thought, or maybe tell me a little bit feeling there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had Niners first to 10, and then I don't even know if I did have the Chiefs +2, but we said we were all on the Chiefs. So, I mean, this is almost exactly what I thought, if I'm being honest.
Hey, Max, I'm looking right here. I love you knew exactly how the game was going to go with the Niners, kind of getting out with a few first points there, and of course, just Patrick Mahomes eventually doing what Patrick Mahomes is going to do.
Yeah, we said it probably 10 times. We will not be betting against that man. I mean, it's impossible.
Yep.
Especially come playoffs. I mean,
Oh yeah. It's
I
like stay away or bet Patrick Mahomes. It's like, I'm just not gonna bet the Chiefs this weekend because it's like week 8 and they're like 9.5. But like playoffs, it's not even. But I never bet against Patrick Mahomes. I can't remember. I think the only time I did all season was complete bias, and probably the best Sunday I had winning wise in a long time, and that was the Packers beating the Chiefs, and that has only bias involved there. So there was no thought process to that one. So
no, I bet the Ravens, and yeah,
that's true. We did bet the Ravens. We did bet the Ravens.
stupid things, but
yeah,
great Super Bowl. I mean, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
it can be a little overused at times where take like the betting analogy or the sports to then like kind of finance or market related. And I know I'll do that a lot like here as well. But I did hear someone say kind of just the Chiefs, just like the US economy. You don't want to bet against it. Doesn't mean that, every year is going to be great. Look at like kind of a 2022 markets, things sucked like that. And, the Chiefs have had some times, but three Super Bowls out of the last 5 years, always going deep there. It just you don't want to bet against them. And I don't want to kind of take too much time here, but I saw it, something kind of interesting worth noting. Since 2001, there have been 125 drives in the NFL postseason where at least it was in the fourth quarter, under a minute left to play, and the team on offense trailed by 7. So essentially just, go time.
Yep.
And out of those 125 drives, only 40% of them saw the team on offense pull off the magic trick or essentially get the points they needed. Some quarterbacks, have been pretty good at it. Tom Brady has a 5 for 11 or 46% on that. Drew Brees is 3 for 6, 50%. And Patrick Mahomes is 7 for 7 in those situations. Now, I thought about this more, and football's a team game. Like, think about maybe you brought your team all the way down there just to see a double doink or, something, a fumble or anything like
They
that.
fucked up.
But I just thought that was a really good, like, it didn't need to be 7 for 7 for us to know that Patrick Mahomes just, I don't know about you guys, just like, I don't know. I like when he had it there at the fourth and then in overtime, like, I just wasn't nervous. I was like, yeah, he's probably going to make the right play here.
Seriously, yeah, it's crazy.
Two
He's
things. Two things. Regretting not taking live. I think at some point, like first half, Kansas City was like plus 4.5.
It wasn't great
It was
earlier.
like 220 or like 210, and I was
That
like,
interception he threw was, I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
yeah. I was
yeah.
like, what the hell? And then second, um, we, I mean, you talk like 5 years ago, we were literally saying the same shit about Brady, where it's like fourth quarter Brady, like no doubt, like put in the bank. Similar to like when Alabama for a couple of years were like down, you get like Tua and those guys, they're down. You bet them live because you know they're gonna do it. Both of those situations combined aren't even close to the way I feel about Mahomes. Like I thought there was no way that any feeling about like a Brady comeback could be surpassed for such a long time. Where it's like, yeah, it's Tom Brady. Like, of course he's gonna have a fourth quarter drive. Mahomes is even better than that. And
Yeah.
talking about the GOAT and the next GOAT back to back playing each other, like it's just so crazy to me that we're sitting here talking about how Mahomes is already having a Hall of Fame career. He retires today, he's already in the Hall of Fame. Like that's
What?
fucking bonkers.
I think we're all probably going to be in agreement on this, but only because I think it's one of those like loud minority type of things where people would just get. And hey, as someone who rooted for the Steelers, I hated the Patriots at that time frame, so I can step away and be like, I don't have some sort of rival with the Chiefs. I'm really enjoying watching like the greatness and
Yep.
stuff here. And so, if you root for an NFC West team, I get it. Don't listen to that. But
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, they are. I mean, Max, you brought it up earlier, just like the Kelsey Reed thing was, I think a lot of people were mad. Taylor told me that the Taylor Swift fans are now concerned for the Taylor's safety
And your
because
problems.
yeah, for Travis Kelsey's anger problems, because if he would do that on live television to
mm,
his coach, and easily probably the most heated, passionate, important moment in Kelsey's life. Like, not to say that this Super Bowl is more important than the other ones, but it is, right? It's the next Super Bowl or the next game's the most
Yeah,
important.
it's
But all things considered, even if Kelsey is a little bit I can see how people don't like him. I like him. I like the passion that he has. It got blown up because it's obviously on the Super Bowl. Everybody's watching, but um, all jokes aside, like Mahomes Kelsey is such a fun. Like it's not only really good, but it's just like they're fun. They care about the game. Um, and like this year for me is like the one year where it was like I'm trying to think of the exact year that Brady won. Like, but he's had some teams where he's won with like Welker, Amendola, and kind of like he didn't have like the
Cast
Randy
offs a
Moss
little
year.
bit.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
like this year
Game movie.
for Mahomes was like, all right, sick. Like Mahomes doesn't have Tyreek Hill. You know, he's got to figure
They're
it
like
out.
they're like the Atlanta Super Bowl, like
Yeah,
outside of Gronk, like these
yeah,
aren't
exactly.
world class All Pro players. They're good players, but show me a Super Bowl team that didn't have good players.
Yep. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And I think
Like,
without all this,
wasn't Edelman wide receiver one? Like nothing against him. I love
no,
Julian.
I think
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Not yeah, and I I don't mind like I like Patrick Mahomes too. Like I find him just enjoyable. When he's talking with whatever podcast or just the media and stuff, he seems like a pretty chill guy. Like he'll let you in a little bit, but still kind of give you the canned answers, and that's probably what being the best of the best guy. Those guys, the Michaels, the Tigers, yeah, maybe after once they retire, they'll open up over a nice glass of scotch or something, but they can't let you in on all the secrets, and you know he's
he's a beautiful in between of at this point Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott. Like Dak Prescott is literally like you could before when the question's asked, if you just pause the press conference, typed up what you thought the most like corporate team
yep.
answer would be, he would
Yeah.
say word
Just
to word.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you have Rodgers, who's like, at this point, he used to be more kind of like quiet with the media and stuff. Now at this point, he's saying
Yeah,
what
he
he
doesn't care at
wants.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's riling everyone up. And so like Mahomes is in between. I think when I started really loving Mahomes, it's kind of silly, but like watching him just destroy beers in the match for golf, like on
Mhm.
TV. Like this man was just crushing beers and he's like, yeah, I'm on TV, but this isn't like my game.
Yeah, pretty good
So
golfer.
yep. And I'm like, you know what? This guy, freak athlete, but you know what? He likes to have a good time. He's
Mhm.
not like, like I'm all for, like Tom Brady, like doing like, all the crazy body health stuff. That's why he lasted as long as he did. But I love that Mahomes has a little, he's got a little dad bod. He's got a
Yeah,
cannon of an arm and he loves to chug beers. Like I
yeah.
feel like he's very,
But let's not kid. Just because maybe it's great, Sam. I think for all of us that like there's a little bit of that chub on the stomach there. Like he doesn't take himself too seriously. But I think it would be silly to just not think that he does. When's the last time Patrick Mahomes has missed a game that you remember? Because I rooted for the last 2 years a QB who's maybe played half the games that but like Kenny Pickett since he's come in the league is just fucking always hurt, and that's all right. I don't, I want to, get it. It's not trying to. I'm just trying to think of that. It's very rare
Oh,
to see like your quarterback always be able to play. Like he hasn't had any sort of season-ending injury, and heaven forbid, we're not trying to jinx the guy, but
yeah.
like he clearly does enough to. And some of that is just like, he makes the perfect run, and then he doesn't like, need to get. It's like I got the first. I don't need to get that extra yard right now. Just slide.
yep.
Yeah. No, you make a great point I mean, you look at Joe Burrow, he's one who's gotten hurt a bunch.
The best ability is available.
Herbert is another guy.
Yep.
He knows what he's doing. And he had that one ankle injury last year, right? And he played through it. But
Yeah, played all the way to the Super
yeah,
Bowl.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was crazy too.
we saw him hobbling and shit and still so
Yeah.
he really is he's a dog. And yeah, he is. I love you. This is kind of backtracking, but just like his personality and shit. Like when Kelsey was on Pat McAfee and Mahomes hopped in, and McAfee was like, Tucker was about to kick your ass, dude. And then he just like, just joking around. Like it's funny stuff. They're good. I love the Chiefs. Andy
He's
Reid always
he
been the guy.
seems like a pretty normal person for being
Yeah,
now one of the probably top 10 most well-known athletes in the world.
yeah. And I won't lie, Brittany Mahomes is kind of rubbing off on me. Like I saw the Jackson Mahomes where she was in like the VIP section and she just like didn't let him in. That was kind of fucking funny. And yeah,
He's like,
nothing to the swimsuit, honestly. Like I'm not saying that's why she's rubbing off on me. That's not the main reason. Okay,
props,
but
props to her, dude. She takes a lot of shit for being Patrick
yeah,
Mahomes'
yeah,
wife, and for her to stunt. Like I kind of was like, you know what? Like boss bitch, yeah. Like she's gotten so much shit about like I don't know, like people are like she's busted and like all this shit and like I've heard a bunch of that shit. I've heard how she's a bitch and all this, but like for her to stunt on the SI swimsuit and just be like, "Hey, motherfuckers," and like she rocked it, and it was just like, "All right, that's what's up." Like Pat Mahomes is just like he's just like, "All right, sweet, like we're good, finally." Like I feel like it kind of like,
Some extra money.
yeah, that too. So I was like, "All right, props to them, good timing with everything." Um,
Still don't like Jackson though.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
and you know, in the kind of people can change type of thing, the visuals of her, whatever, throwing the drinks and stuff like that. I mean, that's probably 4 or 5 years ago, and
Yeah.
jokes still happen 4 or 5 years later. But I haven't seen her do anything crazy or shit. I'll use Taylor Swift seems to be fine hanging out with her, and that's
Mhm.
yeah, and it's a good good resume there,
Yep, good indicator for
good
sure.
indicator. Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't
Speaking
think
of stunting, um, got to talk real quick, but throwing out Usher killed halftime. I'm not
yeah.
fans on halftime shows, but Usher killed it. I think that's more. We're starting to get to the age where like the people at halftime shows are now more applicable to us than they are maybe some of the older folks, and so love seeing that. You know, all the classics. You brought out Lil Jon, Ludacris, all those peeps. Alicia Keys killed it. Yeah, so it was just fun. Had to mention that real quick. Brought out the legends.
Next year, Lil Wayne in New Orleans.
Chill.
Mm.
Yeah, you know what he's gonna be singing? Green Bay, Green Bay.
It,
Oh, green and
Green
yellow.
and Yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta get the lyrics right. That is actually a good song.
yeah,
But
it is.
um,
Um,
had
yeah,
that
I can't remember the second line. I would have kept going because I know the other words, but I don't know that next line. So
Green Bay. Yeah.
embarrassed.
So
Uh, no, but yeah, he killed it. Just talking like I just wrote my note was mistakes, miscues. So I wrote down, CMC fumble, Pacheco fumble, blocked extra point for San Fran, Purdy and Mahomes, Purdue, thinking college basketball. Uh Purdy and Mahomes, INTs, and then I guess to be fair, I would have probably done the same thing if I was Shanahan. I didn't really know the rules until after the fact was after all this stuff was done. But then the biggest maybe mistake was the overtime thing. So like we can kind of touch on all of it, but I'll start with Max. Max, out of those mistakes, which one are you if you had to pinpoint one to make
I
a
just have
difference?
one statement, and I don't think I even brought it up to anyone. But looking at all those, we didn't know. Isn't the whole fucking thing like the Bills bitch so much when they lost to the Chiefs that they changed the playoff rules? Isn't that like the whole thing? Like they changed the whole playoff rules and then explained it to everyone before whatever season. I think it was last year that they initiated it. They explained it. They had like meetings to fucking do it, and then they explain it at the coin flip. They explain the rules. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what do you
No,
mean you don't know the rules?
Mhm.
The whole
I
thing.
guess they probably go out to the coin flip already. Just it's the players, like they can't go back. Probably
I
like,
know, but like, still, like the
no,
rules
no, you're
because of
right.
that
Like someone would
Bills
be like,
Chiefs.
oh,
Like that was a whole thing. That was a whole NFL wide like just people pissed off, and that's why the rule changed.
I don't think these guys on the field were as heavily intoxicated as I was. But I got up, I went to the bathroom, did my little overtime break. By the time I sat down, I said, "Oh fuck, the Niners have the ball. They're about to just close this game out, score and win the game." I didn't know. So, when I sat down, I was like, "Oh shit, the Niners have the ball."
Yeah.
Like, I was like, "Oh, so if you were as, not paying attention to the game as I was, then maybe you would have agreed with me, but yeah, I didn't really understand it at first, but it's kind of like, but if the Niners had scored a touchdown on the first drive, the game would be over.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no matter
that's
what,
what I'm
no
okay.
matter
So
what,
Yeah.
the second team is going to get the ball.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So that's what okay.
Yeah, so almost like college football. Now, if the Niners
If they didn't, if
touchdown,
they missed
if
the
the Chiefs
field
didn't
goal,
get 7, then the game's over.
Okay.
Exactly. They missed the field goal, then all the Chiefs needed was a field goal.
It was
And
kind of
that's
like almost
playoff
college football playoff for the very first drive, but instead of on the 25, like the full field, and then almost then to then NFL sudden death.
Yeah.
So like it just changes though from regular season to playoffs when it
Yeah.
comes.
The only thing that changed from the regular season was where if you like, if you got a field goal, the other team gets it, but if you scored a touchdown, you're good.
It's
Because
still
no matter
yeah.
what, the other team is going to get a try.
Exactly.
Okay, that's just okay. Got it.
Right, like it was something that kind of I feel like could have just it was almost said pretty confusing where
Yeah,
it could have been
yeah.
done.
I feel like it was explained very. I was like, what? I was like, well, why would? Yeah. Okay. Well, then I mean, yeah. Then yeah. So that's where once I finally understood, I was like, oh, okay. Now I mean, I'm still understanding it clearly, but yeah. So that was, I mean, that's huge. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like CMC fumbling where he did, Pacheco fumbling in the red zone. Both of them fumbled in the red
Sloppy
zone.
early.
I mean,
Dude,
dude, San
Chiefs could
Fran made
not finish in the red zone first half. It was insane. With like 3 trips.
yeah. But like San Fran misses the extra point. We're not even talking about overtime.
Right. Yeah.
Like that is
Yeah.
that's the most important thing.
How about I mean San Fran just not like going back to running the ball like in the second half? I feel like early they got a couple runs just that went nowhere, and it was like, all right, that's it. We're just not running the ball anymore. I was like, this is kind of what the Ravens' mistake they just made 2 weeks ago is.
Yeah. The difference is that Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes is a way better fucking passer than Lamar. And it's like when you're are we talking you're talking
No.
about
I'm
you're
saying,
talking about
well,
Niners,
I'm
sorry.
saying that I wouldn't put all of your trust in Purdy and like continue to run the ball. I know you might have got stopped a few drives, but like,
Sorry. I thought you were
yeah,
talking about how like when Lamar and then went down, they just kept passing. I was like, well, yeah, it's different when you got
no, and like I mean, and that's the thing. Like San Fran was never really like down, like if at all. So
No, they would go down and then they would score the next drive to go up.
I mean, Shanahan did the opposite of what McCarthy and LaFleur do in Green Bay. They get up by a touchdown or 10, and then they go, hey, let's just run the clock out until the game's over and hope that we've scored 13 points and that's enough to win the fucking game. Like, oh God, I'm not trying to make this Packers thing, but yeah, they did the opposite. Trying to think of some other things.
yeah, it's probably all I need on the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Just
We can sit
rambled
here and
on.
talk. We can sit here and talk off-season stuff, and we'll get into that later. But I do have to mention that something that we joke about a lot is starting to come into actuality, actual reality, whatever word you want to use. Justin Fields might get traded, and he might get traded for a pretty good pick, and he might go to Pittsburgh. And so, as the non involved party here, I'd say here's what I would say. Here's the questions I would like to hear. Max, I want to hear just like as of today, Friday or Thursday, February 15th. Where do you stand on the Fields?
Going away to college felt more like
Perfect. Uh,
Yeah, right.
the Fields, Caleb Williams. What do you do with the picks, draft strategy? And then I want to hear from Sean. What is I mean, Fields would be a great option, but like, what are the kind of things you're looking at from a Pittsburgh offseason and what you guys are looking for? I think from just bias perspective, I feel like Packers are super overhyped right now with Jordan Love. So I'm going to stay away for a little bit. Hopefully the hype dies down and just Green Bay keeps what they have and they just run it back. But I know you guys have some QB situations to talk through. Not to get into all of NFL,
Fuck you.
but yeah.
Sorry, excuse my French, but that is it's a nice place for you to be in right now.
Yes, it is. I'm a spoiled little bitch.
Go ahead, Max.
I feel like I might have mentioned it a couple pods ago. Just like honestly, at this point, and I feel like most Bears fans are here too. Don't give a fuck. Just can we just fucking win? But obviously, I've loved Justin Fields. I've always been his supporter. And if we can get some good stuff from him and get Caleb and just not fucking ruin him. I mean, it's just hard because that's what like are we just gonna go through this like 3 years from now? Oh, Caleb's gonna go to fucking Jets for a second rounder because we fucking ruined him. But I do think we're actually in a fantastic, like we are in the best spot we could possibly be in. So I'm very happy about that. I have good faith in Ryan Poles. Pretty damn good faith. Like he has been terrific for us. People can say what they want with a couple slip ups with like Claypool and shit, but I mean, he has been fantastic. So really just don't have anything to say until draft day, if I'm going to be honest.
I guess, is it my turn now, Sam?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, any thoughts on it? I mean, you're
No, I don't have thoughts on the Bears. I'm gonna keep you being the Bears there. My thoughts are from just the rumors out there. Yeah, I look at. I mean, we're not. This team last year certainly not a Super Bowl team. Won 10 games, went to the playoffs, finished out pretty well. But you do start to open up the hood a little bit, and you see you add the number 16 in terms of yards wide receiver. You had the number 7 rushing leader there. You had the number 1 sack leader. You got a really good young cornerback, an all-pro safety there, and essentially you start to see that with a good quarterback, this might be a pretty good team. Not necessarily a Super Bowl team or contending there, but if we could do 10 wins and get to the playoffs and probably wasn't that close against the Bills, but didn't get embarrassed. What if we actually got a QB that could play? Now I sat here and was actually kind of a contrarian Justin Fields most this year, but I welcome the opportunity for him to come in. I do think like it's just exciting the same way Max gets excited. He can run. We've seen those games against the Lions that we could throw. Do I think it's worth a first round pick? I don't, but I'm not Omar Khan, who's running the team GM wise on that team. And yeah, if the Steelers make a move to get Justin Fields, I will absolutely talk myself into that being a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. My one question, I'll say it in a sec, but yeah, like there is so much upside to Justin Fields. So that's the thing. We're just like, fuck, do we really got to let him go? Like we could get, but what also it seems
It
like
doesn't make sense for you to keep them both. You
yeah,
understand.
I
Right?
know, I do. And the fact that we're asking for such a fat ass package for basically, I think just number 1. I don't think we're giving anything else up. Like we're just like,
No, I mean, right? Like maybe 8 weeks ago, the thought was like, all right, like maybe a second round, but probably like a third and a fifth. Like
yeah,
it just keeps going up and up and up.
exactly. So it's looking more and more like Caleb. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Hey, I will go to you to ask for all the good things.
dude,
Justin to
I
send this.
love him.
I know all the Chicago fans were pretty big on him anyway, but
I think Tom. I think the thing is we just didn't have the right coaches. Like 1,000%. Like I think Tomlin can change this man, get this man confident as fuck.
the fact that Canada is out and look, we can. It's fun to make fun of the Arthur Smith coaching experience, but I do think Arthur. There's one thing when you put the toothpaste back in the tube, I guess, where like put him back in just an OC role. Like he doesn't have to worry about all the other things of being a coach and just coach up the offense. I mean, that Titans 2019, 2020 team was not like that star power. Of course, Derrick Henry is fantastic, but he got them to like being a number 1 seed and offense kind of power there. So I'm comfortable with the resume. I'm comfortable with him being the guy, at OC there, especially compared to who was there before.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like Arthur is actually like, but he's yeah, exactly. He deserves probably.
Yeah, and I think he
I'm
probably
sure he
comes with
wants
a little
more. But
bit of the RPO and some running stuff that they can do with Justin.
it's gonna. I'm just gonna be happy he won't be in our conference. Like if he goes over there, that's fine. He's not even in our conference, so I don't have to worry about playing him too much. But if that happens, you got a great guy, a fucking hard worker. I'll miss him.
Yep. I feel like he's one of those dudes where it's just some guys are just better coordinators than they are coaches. So
Yeah, Arthur. Yeah, that'll be good. We shall see. I don't think there will be much until closer to draft. But yeah, it'll be interesting, and I'll get probably a text every day about some new news that comes out. But just
yeah. Well,
waiting.
we got free agency in like exactly a month, so I think we'll start to get more clarity there. I mean, it's like everyone needs shit, and then you're like, oh wait, like you're like, oh, we'll just draft that, and you're like, oh wait, we have, for example, the Bears have like 70 million in cap space, so it's like, oh, we have all these needs, we'll just draft it. It's like, oh wait, let's see how we fill up those needs in the free agency before we go trading every single goddamn pick that we have.
Right.
We're getting all those picks. So I like it. I think y'all are both in good situations. I hope it works out. Maybe everyone can win here. Maybe Steelers can give up a valuable enough pick and Justin Fields can be more beneficial than the number 20 pick that I'm hearing they might trade. And
At least he stays within the pod if that happens.
yeah. Bring him to Green Bay, learn under Jordan Love, give him 3 years, and then we can just keep stacking.
That was not what I meant.
All right. Next segment, Sam.
Next segment. Okay. No more football talk. Let's get into what we have now and what we will probably be heavily sedating you guys with, and that is golf. And Genesis Invitational, day one. So far, so good. It's Tiger's tourney. I watched a decent bit of it. Sean, I know you watched a lot. Max, I know you watched a decent bit. So I'll let you guys lead this charge. But just overall, we already put in our picks. But first day thoughts, things you saw, things you liked, things you didn't.
Yeah. Let's go. My initial thoughts the initial thoughts were 25, and actually by the time we're recording, not technically 24% of the way through. So a lot of golf left to go. But my number one thing was the 14 inches of rain or whatever that LA got in flooding over the last 2 weeks. Golf course is pretty soft, which was pretty gettable today. Excuse me. It looks very green, which is from an aesthetic point, it's nice. But you're going to see some birdies. But I think it was exactly what Riv is. It is a very challenging test that usually over the course of 18, 36, 54, 72 holes is going to pull the best golfers from the pack here. And if we look at the leaderboard, there's a lot of good names there. Now, some names that not everyone's going to be familiar with. Again, we're just one round in, maybe we see a little bit of kind of mean reversion there. But there was some gettable scores out there. But I think the fact that you look at, like, say, the tool man, Patrick Cantlay at 7 under leading this tournament. But if you're at 2 under, which is 5 strokes off that, is still T15. Most of the pack was right there even. That's exactly what Riv does. It's very fair. It's a great test of golf here. I mean, just as a huge golf fan, I really enjoy just watching, the shots today. I mean, certainly Cantlay caught my eye. If you caught it all, like, he early was fantastic. He stumbled down the gates, essentially shooting +1 in the last 4 holes. So his round could have been even a little bit better there, but he was great. Will Zalatoris was fantastic. That is part of Sam's bets there. Jordan Spieth looked good. It wasn't the Spieth experience with a lot of bogeys. Scotty Scheffler in the back half was good. I mean, this was course is exactly what it is. If you're a Cantlay, a Spieth, even Scheffler or Ludwig Oberg, I
was waiting for you. I was like, you're not going to bring up.
You went out and you played a quality round, and it can get you. If you're Rory McIlroy, and we'll get to Max Homa's just game is the whole year has not been in form.
Yeah.
Near the bottom of the leaderboard right now. But either way, like it's just a bunch of big players out there, and it was fun to watch through round one.
Yeah. It's terrible because I did a Grio top 40, Homa top 30, and Ludwig top 20.
Mm.
And that's just
Yeah. So is everyone? I'll just start real quick. My top 30 pick is right there at T28 right now. My top 20 pick is at tied for 15, and my outright's at 10. So at least off to a good start. What about you guys?
see. Tom Kim doing pretty solid. He is sitting at
It was
tied for 50.
so mean. Tom, I think he's at 2 under. He's doing great. Tom
Yeah.
Kim had a play with Cantlay and Spieth, and that had to be. He had to feel like he's like not doing that well, and hopefully he sits tonight. Has a beer before he goes to bed, and be. I'm right in this. Like,
Yeah. No, yeah. When I sent that Tom Kim in all caps, he chipped out of the bunker and into the hole. Just absolute beautiful. So his top 30 sitting looking pretty good. He's tied for 15. So he's T41. So not terrible, but he's up
and again,
there.
remember, like
40,
T41
exactly.
is
It's fine.
two strokes away from T15 right now.
That is true. That is very true. And then we've got good old Victor. I think he's also
Yeah, Victor at one point I think got it up to 4 under, and then faded back to 1 under to finish the day.
yeah. So
Yeah.
looking solid.
We'll see how it is. The finishing holes were pretty tough for a lot of guys there. If you get the chance to watch it, hole 10 is one of my absolute favorite. Definitely one of the best short par fours. I would say 17 at Waste Management is also in there because there's so much risk reward. Of course, driving the green, an incredible feature, but it's almost impossible to hit this green. And then the runoff actually puts you in pretty tough. Like it's then near impossible to go up and down. I don't know if anyone saw Tiger on 10 today. His drive hit the green, but then ended up in the bunker. His bunker shot, the way it was, he couldn't play it to the green, so he had to play it sideways. He goes out. It then rolls all the way back down. And from going from literally his drive hitting the green, he makes bogey, and it's a fun hole.
Fuck yeah.
Like that. Yeah, I will say the little bit that I did get to watch, it is one of the more aesthetic courses that you get to watch on the tour. Like I was just like, damn, like I want to be there right now. Like it just like it wasn't like Waste Management where like I want to be in the thick of all that debauchery, but it was also like, damn, like it would be nice to be at this golf course. It looks gorgeous. Like every view, everything I could have possibly taken a picture of would have been like just picturesque. I know it's
How about that? I'm gonna mess the word up. The eucalyptus tree, the like naked tree. Yeah, that thing is awesome. But yeah, I think that's one of it's awesome that these two tournaments are back to back because it's whatever you prefer. Like hey, love take the fellas out during the winter, just get rowdy, hang out near 16. That's exactly what you get at Scottsdale. You don't always get as good of a field, but the finish is fantastic because those huge risk reward, pretty much from 15 on, it always produces a great tournament. This here, a huge test of golf, like not going to be huge rowdy crowds, but it's going to attract all the best golfers in the world want to play this event. And yes, very aesthetically pleasing from watching. Just also, it's right, off of Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Yeah. So Max and I talked about this. I don't know if you caught the back. I was gonna say, I don't know if you caught the back end of the pod. You still haven't mentioned it this pod. I don't know if you caught the back end of Valentine's Day pod, but we realized, and I'm realizing now, you're going to the goddamn
Final round
era this weekend, and you haven't mentioned it yet. And so, as we're talking about how beautiful this place is, can you please send us pictures and maybe one to the Ramble on Sports account so that we can post it? Because We're gonna
100%, 100%. Yes. So
I'm gonna
I am going to
Speak or
the
hobble.
the last round of this event, just as like anyone else, has the kind of the sports they be like junkies into. Been a big golf
Yeah.
fan, and this is one that and I'm lucky enough, went to the Waste Management a few years ago that I've always watched on TV, and every year, just kind of like Sam said, be like, damn, God, I'd love to go there. And I'll have to shout out a buddy of mine, Bib. We really a New Year's Eve, maybe had a couple domestic light beers, and I tossed the idea out because Monday's a work holiday. I was like, what if we went out to the West Coast, maybe even try to play a bit of golf ourselves? Caught the last day. It's a good field there, and yeah, so 100%. I'll be happy to, I can even maybe take some of the account, log in, post some stories and stuff there, get some pictures of the
That'd be
guys
awesome.
close, and
Sure.
hopefully it's a good finish. And this is always a good event too because it's right after it's Sunday of the Super Bowl. We kind of, as a sports fan, like what do we do? And not everyone's a golf fan. And I completely understand that. That's fine. It's not for everyone. But it's you find yourself kind of Sundays sitting, hanging out. This would be a great kind of one to catch the end of.
I'm excited for you, dude.
Yeah.
Excited for you, Bib.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
As well.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So definitely take some pictures there. Looking at this. So yours truly doing very good with the speed pick. T5 right now. My top 30 also T5 with Willie Z. And then my top 20 or top 10, it doesn't really matter because he's not sniffing it right now, but he's still, like you said, Sean, he's still, you never know, crazier shit can happen, especially if we're doing T20 on this guy. Adam Scott is definitely at the bottom of the barrel,
Yeah,
tied for 49, but he's only one over.
And plus one, if he goes out and shoots a couple under par, he's kind of right back, maybe he goes into the weekend at like a T28 type of thing, and you're right back in it.
And that's fine. I mean, Spieth one is obviously the important one. I think I put like a tenner on Spieth, 20 on each Scott and Zally.
Yeah,
So.
I mean the Zalatoris one, like outside of a meteor shower, feels pretty good.
Right. And that was the one that I said that I was like, he could easily be up here early, and then he's just gonna slowly find his way.
I'll shout out Posho, he made sure to mention this again. So Zalatoris back like 2019, T2 maybe ended up being like T3 as he kind of faded on Sunday, but essentially very good Masters finish. Last year, end up getting the surgery, out for like the rest of the year. Now says he finally feels good and has had a great start to the year. Of course, a great Thursday at one of the first big dick event he's played at since coming back. 35-1 right now in the Masters. If you want to just, if you have any proceeds from the Super Bowl, that might not be a bad one. Again, more as an investment, not like the outright, but if he finds himself like in the top 10, top 5 on Saturday, you can use it as a cash out if you want to roll it, of course. Hey, this isn't investment advice, but just that number feels maybe a little high for a guy who's had success at the Masters and is hopefully back to playing like he was pre-injury.
Yeah, I love that. I hope so.
Where's Hop? Oh, there he is. Okay. I was like,
yeah, the only other golf that I'll kind of mention here, just again, very early. Live odds, we've talked, Max and I talked about this a good bit. Like one of the most probably worst times to take a bet is right after the first round because you feel like the tournament's gone, and really the exact opposite on Friday could happen to either a guy that didn't do well or do well on Thursday. But I don't hate Wyndham Clark to get back into the top 20 here, and I think it was like plus 165 earlier, or Denny McCarthy, or the Wyndham was like plus Denny McCarthy like plus 265, who's sitting currently inside the top 20, finished I think T8 in this tournament last year, so good course history. that feels like an off number to me. Like you don't, whether we like how Denny the rest of this week, it just seems like, hey, find a little arbitrage in the book.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, even you mentioned on Tuesday, Tom Hodge or
Tom Hoagie.
yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was Hoagie, but I was like,
Irons
is
for
it
Hoagie plays
Hoagie?
here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you even said his top 20, and he's sitting 5 right now. Top 10 is plus 200, and then his top 20 is now minus 150. So whoever didn't get that luck or missed out. But yeah, good stuff there. You're killing it.
And then of course, we got to do a big cat watch, and I'm not talking about my boy at pardon my take, our boy, I would say, our internet dad, our
Kitty cat.
dad, big cat. He's our internet dad, but let's talk about our golf daddy, and his name is Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Thoughts on him so far, Sean?
My main thought was, especially through the first like maybe 14 holes, God, it was good to see him look healthy. Like the last, like so many times he's gone out there and it just looks like a struggle. He's like there, a shot at a thick rough, and all of a sudden he's kind of laboring a little bit, and whether or not, like, I mean, shit, he beat a good amount of golfers today, so he still kind of got it a little bit. And outside of, if he didn't shank one on 18, he'd probably be sitting at even. But the fact he was even able to get bogey on that's pretty impressive. But it was, I went into this not assuming anything like great from a score out of him, but it was just so nice to see like all the surgeries and stuff. He looks like he can play well, and that he deserves. This is this isn't like the Waste Management where the last 60 guys are kind of number 200 in the world or got some sort of invite from here. Like all of these players are probably within the top 120 players like in the world, and so him to go out and comfortably sit kind of in the middle right there is really cool to see.
And what is it? 50 out of the top 70 make the cut.
So
it's like
50 out of the 70 make the cut, but not even that. There's actually like anyone within 10 strokes of the lead too. Now that might, if Cantlay goes off or someone else shoots another 64, that'll be tough for those last guys. But if Tiger can go another, like, if he can go 72, I think there's a good chance he sneaks in.
Hell yeah. I got him on making the cut on DraftKings.
Yeah, I know they were pushing this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up the Pacific Palisades
weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking at it all week because there's a chance of some rain on Sunday, but good news, it continues to go. It looks like it's going to be just kind of continue low 60s and pretty nice. But Sunday could have.
It looks fucking awesome there right now.
It looks great other than Sunday. So,
Wyndham with a beautiful shot on 18.
I will say this one podcast I listen to, it's like Sportsline, CBS, but they have a thing called Early Wedge, and one of their guys is always big on the first round leaders, and I've hit a couple with him as well. He had Luke List.
Yeah, Luke
almost hit it. I gotta
give
him James Ugrad too. Sia Najad. He's obviously not listening, but James Ugrad, dude has been on fire on these first round leaders, and I almost went with Luke List. I went with Cam Young, obviously not the move there.
It's
first round leader, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But no, man. Luke List he's kind of like almost a Max Homa from a few years ago. He's probably got maybe 2 wins under his belt, so a very good golfer, but just probably not a casual name because in the majors not really doing anything and stuff like that. But a good golfer. But that's the kind of like the Luke List. That's when you sit here Thursday after round 1, you have a lot of Luke List up there. Will Luke List be there on Sunday morning? Let's see.
Hey, since I just got, it's funny you say that, I just got a notification that my first round leader did not hit, and so I got my bonus bet back, And so now I got to figure out how I'm going to double that bitch down. Tell you what, it won't be on Snaky Can't Lay. That's what I'll tell you.
Oh, come on, Wyndham, dude. Wyndham.
I might do that Wyndham. I might even do the Wyndham just T20 and call that a day and make a nice
Because
little
one of the things to think about too, like Wyndham's going to finish out, what is it, like even for the day?
some.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
He
He's
like
putting for
double. He
sure.
he either bogeyed and then doubled the first two holes, so he got out to being +3, and then is essentially 2 under from hole 7 out.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty solid right there.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be putting for birdie too here. Probably from like
How about
10.
that, dude? Not a great day for McElroy.
No.
Max, I was worried about when you asked. It's like
I know. No,
First-
you weaned me off it.
yeah,
So.
I was like, hey, I was like, I wouldn't take him here. Wouldn't take him.
No, you definitely your input saved me some money. So but no, Wyndham might finish 1 under. I don't want to jinx him, but that
All right,
probably
well,
just jinxed him.
get that in now because I'm sure that +260 will go away soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, shit. I got it. Okay, we got a crazy bet here. All right. So, anything else, Genesis, or do we want to get on? I got some hoops talk, but wasn't sure. Max, actually, you know what, Max? You got any UFC updates? Anything? So we talked on Wednesday. Anyone who's listening got the money line, but we real briefly talked about how some of the odds weren't posted, like winning methods and stuff. Max gave out a bunch of that stuff without knowing the odds. So like I'm sure that if you just listen to that, it's good. But any like material changes that you have, Max, and things that you want to add to the card?
I saw one thing and really tickled my pickle. First thing, actually, Ilya Taporia touched the belt before he fought. That is a major no-no, a very big no-no, and a huge curse. A very well-known curse. He said he doesn't give a fuck, which is what most people say when they do that and then lose.
I might bet $500.
Volk is still -1. Don't do that. Volk is still -125. It's UFC. It's fighting. You don't know. Don't do 500. Well, no. If you have the money, sure, but don't do that. He's still -125, and what I really like, and this is kind of just a little for fun, I would definitely smack around and hammer it, not $500. I would smack around and hammer that Volk money line just solo. But if you want to parlay, a little Robbie Whitaker win by decision or Paulo Costa to win by knockout. That's -200. You throw in that Volk, and that's +170. I honestly like that a lot. I think either Robbie's going to control him that whole fight because it's only 3 rounds. I believe it's only 3 rounds.
Is that the -200?
Yeah. He's gonna control him that whole time, or Paulo with his this dude's stupid strong. He's just gonna catch him like Duplessis caught him and knock him out. So I think that is a fantastic bet. I wish it wasn't -200 because I would just do that straight up.
Yeah.
But I think Volk is just he's there. It's Volk. He's the best fighter in his division. He goes up. I said it last time. He goes up. He's going to lose to Islam. Fine, because Islam is a beast. He really is. In his own division, nobody's going to fucking stop this man. He's beaten everyone in the top 6. Well, if he beats Taporia. But there's no one else for him to fight, like inside the top 6 if he wins on Saturday. So
yeah, let's go.
He's a dog. That's kind of my big thing. Is the curse was a huge factor.
That is a material change.
Like I know.
Odds didn't change, but that's a material betting.
You can't touch it. You can't touch it.
No,
Like imagine if Mahomes or Purdy touched the Super Bowl trophy before the Super Bowl. You know, Vegas would be like, oh, hell no.
The only other kind of bigger change I saw was the Kopelev. He's now plus 210 instead of, I think, 175, 180.
Yeah, it was 185 or 180 when we were podding.
So Dern is now 114. But yeah, nothing else
Does
really.
opinion change, or are you staying with those odds?
Yeah, no, I'll
You
say.
did have Kopelev and Durant, or you had Kopelev.
From what I've seen, it's not like Kopelev got like points off for miss weight. I haven't seen that.
It's just market.
Yeah, they're on Kopelev, so they're fucking. Actually, no, they would have lowered.
No,
it.
they'd be
I don't
on.
know. Yeah, they would have lowered it. So I don't know. Whatever. I don't give a shit, dude. Roman is a good straight bet to do. But yeah, I think everything's looking solid. Ian Gary has made it even worse. So I just he's gonna probably win, most likely win. But
Gary?
dude, no one likes this guy right now.
That's fine. I don't.
You don't have to like him to bet him.
I read more on him after, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, all right."
Yeah, see, yeah. So that's about all I
Oh,
can.
wait, hey,
I wanted to bet
we're trying to
everyone.
make money.
Yeah, listen to Tuesday's pod. There's some good shit on there as well. I'll try to throw something together and post on Ramble's Insta. But yeah, it's gonna be a fantastic fight. I'm just gonna sit on my couch, moving in all day Saturday. Come 10 o'clock, I'm gonna buy that card and just sit on the couch.
You got the green couch, right?
Yeah, the sectional.
Oh,
You can come over.
I probably will.
Hey.
Dude. We're not doing shit, so.
All right. But that's all I got for UFC. I know you got some college b-ball going. So
yeah. So last pod went 3-3. Just from the Wednesday group, I had Arkansas, Tennessee over, which hit. Boston Army under hit. UConn -24 hit. However, Green Bay lost by 1, which was one I was very keen on, which is unfortunate. Xavier got the shit kicked out of him by Seton Hall. And then Jacksonville, Tennessee wasn't even close to the over. I think it was 152 and it was like 130 total. Or no, 126. So, model messes up sometimes. I won't get into the Thursday picks because no one's going to be able to play them. So I won't do that, but I sent them in a few text groups. North Texas, Southeast Missouri State, and Eastern Illinois under. North Texas money line, Minnesota plus 16.5, and Utah money line. So we'll see how those turn out, but not going to be relevant to anyone listening here. Honestly, dude, I've been looking at college hoops lines, hoping that they're going to come out for Friday so that I can give you guys some picks, but they have not. So I'm just going to tell you, oh, wait, never mind. I got them. They're coming up right now. Jesus, I was gonna say they like an hour ago they were not here. So let's see. Let me just pull this up on the big screen. I like Villanova covering against Georgetown -10, a lot of points. Georgetown stinks. Villanova's on a roll. I like that one. Canisius and Marist under 132.
Oh, Sam is in his bag now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in my fucking bag. Dartmouth and Columbia under 135.5. If I'm leaning one way, Columbia is going to cover that -9. It's a lot of points. I'm aware. Oh, sorry, I'm going the wrong way. Jacksonville and Queens University over 150.5. Niagara and Fairfield over 147. And then I like New Mexico plus 5.5 at San Diego State. And then never mind, I won't even play this, but I just want to know. I'm very high on the over North Florida, Kennesaw State. Their over under is 164. That's a lot of points for college hoops, so we're gonna stay away. But yeah, those are the games I'm looking at right now. They within the last hour they must have came out with odds. So I'll post those tomorrow on the Ramble On Sports account. But yep, that's where I'm at there. Talking Saturday, not odds, right? So no odds are done. I will post on Saturday morning. That is going to be my goal going forward. I'm going to try and post every day that I have good picks. If I don't post, then I don't have good picks. So just, use your brain there.
I got one.
Yeah, go. I was gonna say I can rattle up. If you guys have questions, go.
I know you might have touched on it, but absolutely hand up on those Gamecocks. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, we fucked that bed right there.
That
That
was
bad.
terrible.
Maya culpa on the Gamecocks.
Yeah, all of our Maya culpas. And we it was kind of like one of those where we were looking through the rest of the lines and we are like, oh my God, South Carolina, you better hammer that. We hammered it, and so we're sorry, but
We're sorry.
if it's not an official play and we come across it later, I would just take the official plays. Don't take the, oh shit, South Carolina is 11 and a half. You want to hammer that? Yeah, don't. If we start talking like that, don't do that. So yeah, but on Saturday we got a lot of good games. Alabama A&M, over City. Don't have the over on that. Love that. Alabama is the #1 scoring team in college hoops right now. Iowa State money line against it doesn't fucking matter. They beat the shit out of Cincinnati. They were 1.5 point dogs away. Iowa State is much better than you think. No, they don't have Tyrese Halliburton, but it doesn't matter. They're still really fucking good.
I was just asking myself if they had him.
Yep. So big Iowa State dude. Very nice. I would say this matchup is probably the best TV matchup, and I don't know where the lines are at right now, but it's Marquette, UConn. #4 Marquette, #1 UConn. UConn will probably be favored. It's at UConn. It's probably going to be 2.5 to 5.5 points. If I had to guess, I could see it being 5.5. I don't think it'll be 5.5. It'll probably be 4 if I had to guess. I do kind of like Marquette. I feel like UConn's been really solid, but UConn, they're bound to just slip up a little bit, and they might still win the game. But Marquette covering 4, Tyler Kolek rolling, Marquette's rolling. I like that. I do lean under as well if you're gonna go over under on that game. UConn is just an under team. When you have a team like UConn who's dominant and they control the tempo, like a UVA, that's going to go under. So don't really overthink that. It might be 100. I hope it's a high under. It probably won't because Vegas is Vegas. Kansas is playing Oklahoma. I would say check Kevin McCullar's status. If Kevin McCullar is playing, I would hammer Kansas. Otherwise, I might stay away. Illinois should cover against Maryland. Colorado, see how they do against UCLA tonight. They're playing on Saturday against USC. So just see how USC does tonight against Utah and how Colorado does against UCLA.
You're giving us homework?
If you want to, if you want homework, but if you're trying to win some money and you want some value. And then last but absolutely certainly not least, we just talked about it. Auburn, Kentucky, hammer that over. It might be 200 points. It might be the only college basketball game that goes over 200 points this weekend and the whole fucking season. So Kentucky, Auburn over. That is the play of the fucking Saturday. Do not question me. Let's get into our college basketball bag. A lot of good games, and we will absolutely get there when we get there. So thanks for letting me talk. Welcome to my TED Talk. Happy Thursday, and any questions you might have.
No,
Nah, dude. I've been like 30-70 negatively on college basketball. I've had some big wins that have helped me, but like it's so hard right now, especially like conference play and all this shit. Like
Yep,
it's tough.
100%. So, I mean, dude, we'll come correct March Madness and all that, but this is kind of like the pre research. So, um, we're still working out everything. Numbers are still being calibrated, as they say. Those were the main things I want to talk about. Anyone have anything they want to talk about that's coming up this weekend?
Bedard's back, so that's awesome. The Hawks might not get the first round or the first overall if he can do some stuff, but yeah, no, it's good. But sports, we got baseball coming up. We got a couple weeks to talk about that,
Yeah,
but
I won't do it right now, but I got a few baseball things. Like I remember my like bet of the before baseball started last year was the Braves to win the division. That hits.
Yes.
I got to
Yeah.
come correct again this year. I'm already leaning to the Reds winning the National League Central. I know that's upsetting here, but we'll talk way more about that later.
We'll
yeah.
do a
And,
baseball preview. Like
Just like a baseball preview pod, probably maybe like late March.
yep.
yeah. And I need to get Stefanko on.
I'm trying to get
my buddy. He's gonna be living 3 houses down from me, so we got to get him on. Huge Braves fan, very knowledgeable in baseball overall. So we got to get him on and talk some
I like
preseason.
Jared Klenick there this year is a good fit.
Yeah,
I'm trying to. I'm actually
I'm
looking at.
excited. I can't wait. Re-sign Belly. God damn it.
Yeah,
Fucking sign Belly. Let's fucking roll. Let's get this shit
Oh,
rolling.
dude. I've just been watching like Paul Skeen's highlights through the socials.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Give
John's
it
watching
done.
Paul Skeen highlights.
You're
He's
gonna be.
watching Paul
It's not,
Skeen
you're gonna
highlights.
see more Olivia Dunn at
Paul Skeen.
PNC
Oh, I
than
love Paul Skeen. Oh, he's the best.
It's not my fault. Libby Dunn's favorite baseball team is the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Fair. I am hitting up Fit. I actually was texting Fitz about this today because he's in Baltimore. I was like, yo, so opening day, Baltimore, Camden Yards.
I love Camden Yards.
I was just telling Max this kind of pre-show. The Nats home opener is against the Pirates, so I'll play hooky that
Oh,
day and be there.
of course it is. You motherfucker.
Sometimes things just work out.
Yeah. I love it.
I'll check on when the Cubs are in DC.
Jinx, dude.
Yeah. Oh, we'll come up
We
for
just-
that. We'll come up for that. We'll do a live show at the bullpen. We'll bring a microphone and like literally be in the top little warehouse. We'll be in the porta potty just doing the best picks. Home run in the porta potty. Go. But yeah. No, I love it.
had missed
Um
over 3.5 bases.
Oh yeah. Can't wait. Over under how many drinks we have on the way up to DC.
We don't do that. We don't do that.
Well, what if you're on the train?
Well, the train. Yeah. Oh, dude, if we're going up to visit Sean and Emma, we're taking the fucking train, Max. You live right by my house now, and so we're gonna just
Not yet.
an Uber to Staples Mill train station and train. We're leaving our cars. We're not driving up to DC anymore.
All right. Well, yeah. All right.
All right. Anything else? Quick, just silly. If you're still listening, Villa is playing Fulham this weekend. Villa is injury prone. They're down in the count, but a little parlay that I cooked up. BTTS, both teams to score, parlayed with Villa double chance. So win or tie.
I like that.
100 plus 100. I don't have the lineup yet. I think Villa should beat Fulham, but they might not. But a tie 1-1 sounds exactly where it'll probably be 1-1. And I don't know who's scoring. Villa is so inconsistent right now. So if you want a little plus money Saturday morning to help you into college hoops, be my guess. But anything, Sean's wearing an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah. Just say it was great to go a little cross London derby and throw up 6 on the board against the Hammers last week. Good to get kind of, fill up the stat sheet there after a abysmal December. Arteta's got the boys in form, quality play out there. One more kind of, I won't say tune up, but a match you got to take seriously this week against Burnley. But gentlemen, we all know next Wednesday, Champions League, leg 1 against Porto. Got to go down to Portugal and take care of business.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll be good. That'll be fun.
Agree with that.
Yeah. I just got 2 things. Brentford, we've got Ivan Toney back. Very solid. Goal every game except for Man City. So that's 3 out of 4. Had a great game against the Wolves. Wolves have been looking very, very good. Against Liverpool Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Ivan Toney is plus 150. I'll be goddamned if I don't fucking hammer that. He is gonna score. He is the king, and he is the man. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna ride this. He's gonna be gone next year. That's fine, but he's gonna do everything he can to show these top Premier League teams.
Well, he wants to show off for to have a team like Arsenal spend
Exactly.
70 million pounds on him.
Yeah, that was like that one. I think it was Man City. Beautiful cross. Man fucking wanted to jump inside, kick it.
I'm cool moving on from Jesus. That we don't need to get into that. That's for now.
No, but Ivan Toney plus 150, hammer it against Liverpool. I guarantee it's going to score. That is my lock of the weekend.
I love it.
Cheers, fellas.
Yes.
Max, good luck to the Blackhawks tonight. Good luck to Connor Bedard.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to fire that team into the sun. Not good.
Hey, we've got, although football's gone, we got baseball, hockey, and everything else to talk about. We are a diverse podcast.
I really hope that I
really
hope that I can come back next week and talk about Ludwig Oberg being a household name now.
Hey,
I hope so too. I want to see you wearing that shirt and then holding to like a little fake trophy, being like,
yeah.
Whoa.
You're gonna get a Sweden flag here soon. It'll be all blurred, and then you'll just have a Sweden flag in this upper corner.
I'll do if I wear it, I'll make sure my background isn't blurred. I promise.
I love it. Love you, boys.
Yeah.
Have a great weekend. Let's rock some pics. We'll post on the pod. We'll post on the Insta. Love you guys. Let's do it.
Thanks, guys.